Texas family says the immigration nightmare they're living right now. A North Texas family says the immigration nightmare they're living right now could happen to others who have legal status in the U.S.
A woman says she is frantic after her husband, who is a legal permanent resident, was detained. He could now be facing deportation after being picked up by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. NBC5's Maria Guerrero explains.
Mary says it started with a call from her husband, who was driving to work in Louisville on Thursday.
My husband was panicked and said that he got pulled over by ICE. And I said, "What do you mean?" "Well, I'm serious. ICE is right behind me." And I said, "Well, you're permanent resident. You're good on everything. Just talk to them."
Despite Jesus Ramos having permanent legal residency in the U.S. for over a decade, Mary says she heard the devastating encounter.
And he actually took the phone for a minute and said, "We're taking your husband in due to his record."
The husband and father of a terminally ill daughter is now in ICE custody, potentially facing deportation, according to Mary, over past run-ins with the law, including a 2022 case he's on probation for, over a disturbance at home and alleged drug possession.
A little tiny baggie off camera with just enough residue in it to be able to test it. And it was positive for cocaine.
There are some crimes that make a legal permanent resident deportable.
And this appears to be one, says immigration attorney Tessie Ortiz, who is not involved in this case, but says if true, it should serve as a sobering reminder to those with green cards. Laws enforced since the 90s are clear.
Any drug crime, any, except for simple possession of marijuana, less than 30 grams. Other than that, a legal permanent resident could be deported for a simple intent. Domestic violence is one of the crimes that make a legal permanent resident deportable.
I want the permanent residents out there.
Crimes that make a legal permanent resident deportable.
I want the permanent residents
less than 30 grams. Other than that, a legal permanent resident could be deported for a simple intent. Domestic violence is one of the crimes that make a legal permanent resident deportable.
I want the permanent residents out there to know that if you have any kind of charge, you are at risk. It doesn't matter if you think, oh, it's nothing. You are at risk. They're coming for you. They're coming for your family because they came from my husband.
Is there a level of disappointment in your husband at the end of the day?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a good man and I love him and he's a good father, but he put us here. You know, I know what he did, his actions did, but I can't focus on that. I have to move forward. I have to.
A spokesperson for ICE in Dallas tells NBC5 Ramos has also been convicted of multiple DWIs and will remain in custody pending the outcome of his removal proceedings. Attorney Ortiz has this advice for permanent residents with any misdemeanors or felonies. Seek out an attorney to determine if you are, quote, deportable. Also, don't travel outside the U.S. You may not be allowed back in. Maria Guerrero, NBC5.